The world of gangster rap was shaken once again when the famous rapper known as Notorious B.I.G. was killed. His murder has remained a mystery for 28 years, haunting the hip-hop community with rumors, unanswered questions, and conspiracy theories. Biggie, whose real name was Christopher Wallace, was shot 4 times. For a long time, no one knew who was responsible. There were no signs of close-range shooting, and the police didn't say much. Fans wanted justice, but the case remained cold. Now, in 2025, a former detective has finally revealed who killed Biggie and why. The truth is not only shocking, but it also confirms old suspicions that many people had kept quiet for years. After almost 3 decades, the mystery of Biggie's death has been solved, and the reality is deeply disturbing. On the night of March 8, 1997, Los Angeles was full of excitement. The Soul Train Music Awards had just ended, and many celebrities were in the city. Biggie was also there. It was his first big appearance on the West Coast since Tupac Shakur died 6 months earlier. Even though there was still tension between the East Coast and West Coast rap scenes, Biggie came to promote peace and share his upcoming double album, Life After Death. Later that night, Biggie went to an after-party hosted by Vibe magazine at the Peterson Automotive Museum. He came with his friend and music producer, Sean Puffy Combs, and their group. The party had tight security, but people were relaxed and enjoying themselves. Photos from the event show Biggie smiling, talking with fans, and looking calm and confident. He seemed happy and comfortable, like someone who had found success and peace. But just after midnight, everything went wrong. Around 12:45 a.m. on March 9th, Biggie and his team decided to leave the party early. They got into several vehicles. Biggie sat in the front passenger seat of a dark green GMC Suburban. Puffy was in the vehicle ahead, and their security followed behind. The streets of Los Angeles were still busy, even at that late hour. As their convoy stopped at a red light at the corner of Fairfax Avenue and Wilshire Boulevard, a black Chevy Impala pulled up next to Biggie's SUV. Witnesses said the Impala moved slowly and deliberately, coming to a stop beside Biggie's vehicle. Then, someone inside the Impala rolled down the window and started shooting with a 9mm pistol. 4 bullets hit Biggie. He collapsed in his seat, seriously injured. His driver rushed him to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, which was only a few minutes away, with security cars speeding beside them. Paramedics tried to save him, but it was too late. At 1:15 a.m., Biggie was declared dead. He was only 24 years old. Even though there were many people around, no one could clearly identify the killer. Witnesses gave different stories. Some said the shooter wore a bow tie. Others described a smooth getaway. A nearby bank camera may have recorded something, but the footage was too blurry to help. The black Impala disappeared into the night and was never found. Biggie's murder shocked the world, and the timing made it even more intense. Just 6 months before, Tupac Shakur had also been shot and killed in a drive-by attack in Las Vegas. He was 25 years old. Now, 2 of hip-hop's biggest stars were dead, both murdered in similar ways. Fans didn't think it was just a coincidence. They believed the 2 deaths were connected. Rumors and theories spread fast. Some thought Biggie was killed in revenge for Tupac's death. Others believed it was gang-related or linked to music industry power struggles. Just days before he died, Biggie said in an interview that he was ready to leave the East Coast-West Coast feud behind. His upcoming album was called Life After Death, and after what happened, the name felt sadly appropriate. As people grieved, many started investigating the long and bitter feud between East and West Coast rappers. They hoped the truth about Biggie's murder would be found in the middle of the drama and betrayal that once divided the music world. After years of silence, the answers are finally here, but they reveal a truth darker than anyone expected. The famous rap feud between East Coast and West Coast wasn't always full of hate. In fact, it started with a real friendship. In the early 1990s, Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace, known to the world as Biggie Smalls or Notorious B.I.G., were close. They were not just 2 rappers. They supported each other as they rose in the hip-hop scene. Tupac helped Biggie early in his career, even letting him sleep on his couch, giving him advice, and introducing him to people in the industry. For a short time, the East and West Coast scenes were united through their bond. But everything changed on November 30th, 1994. That night, Tupac went to Quad Recording Studios in New York for a music session. As he entered the building, 3 armed men attacked him in the lobby. He was shot 5 times, but he survived. Still, the emotional damage was deep. Tupac quickly began to believe that the attack wasn't random. He thought it was a setup and that someone had planned for him to be there at that time. Biggie and Sean Puffy Combs were already in the building when the shooting happened, and to Tupac, that seemed suspicious. He started to believe they knew about the attack, or even helped plan it. Both Biggie and Puffy denied any connection, but Tupac didn't trust them anymore. That night marked the end of their friendship and the beginning of a bitter rivalry. Soon after the shooting, Tupac was convicted in a separate case and sent to prison. While behind bars, his anger and paranoia grew. When he was released in 1995 and signed with Death Row Records, things got worse. The East Coast, West Coast feud started to heat up. Tupac no longer held back. In 1996, he released Hit 'Em Up, a brutal diss track where he claimed to have slept with Biggie's wife, Faith Evans, and insulted Puff Daddy and Bad Boy Records. The feud wasn't just about music anymore. It was personal and nasty. The rivalry quickly grew into something bigger than just 2 artists. It turned into a battle between entire regions and record labels. Death Row versus Bad Boy, Los Angeles versus New York, Suge Knight versus Puffy. It dominated the media. Music magazines, radio shows, and award ceremonies were all caught up in the drama. Fans took sides, and the media only made things worse. Behind the scenes, things were getting more dangerous. At the 1995 Source Awards, there were clear signs that violence was brewing. There were threats, insults, and tension in the air. That tension exploded in Las Vegas on September 13, 1996, when Tupac was shot in a drive-by shooting.